everybody, it's Seth Jones, Editorial Director of Landscape Magazine. I'm out here again with the ACE Peer Group in beautiful Tuscany, Italy. I'm being joined by Sam Rankin. He is with Etch Outdoor. Sam, thanks for taking some time.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
It's cool to be here. It's always fun to do these interviews in a beautiful setting like this. So my first question, I guess, is just tell me about what should I know about Etch Outdoor?
Yeah, we're a full-service maintenance design build company, snow removal as well. We're a little bit heavier on the recurring services, maintenance and snow, but full-service design build. So that's pools, patios, putting greens, plants, pergolas, anything with a P. It seems like we're taken care of. So about 55 employees, and do our best to be a bright spot in the green industry.
And you're in Iowa. What region do you service?
So we service both the Des Moines market as well as eastern Iowa, which is going to be Iowa City and Cedar Rapids for maintenance over there only. And that's kind of our growth trajectory, is just focusing really on the reoccurring services moving forward.
How did Etch get its start?
It was like every kid, I was just dumb enough to stick with it when I started mowing the neighbor's lawn, and one thing led to another. When I finally finished college, I decided that it was something that I wanted to continue as I pursued pro hockey refereeing. I wanted to officiate hockey, and so it was my opportunity to afford to try to pursue that dream. And over time, it seemed like those two switched places on what I really love to do. The business became a little bit more fun every day, and we were lucky enough that the growth kind of perpetuated itself, and we didn't struggle to continue to improve and grow the business. And so over time, it definitely made it more fun and became my focus as we built it to a career.
Do you still referee hockey?
I do. I still I work collegiate hockey now, and it's good most of the time. I did break my leg and partially tore my meniscus last fall.
Oh.
So that was made me rethink if it was worth it. But it, I still plan to go back out. I've got a game, and actually between now and the next time I'm back here in 15 days, I will be on the ice in Omaha. So it'll be a fun kind of change of pace.
Okay, good. I used to referee basketball, but not at a very high level, and it was intense. It was. And I've always, so I do have a question, other than talking about my poor basketball officiating career. What's it like when the crowd's just really mad and just raining down boos?
We get booed a lot of times before we even start the game. And so that's when you're well liked. But it's great when actually both coaches are yelling, because you're doing it right. If neither one is super happy, you're probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And I tell coaches all the time that, my goal is to be consistent. It might be consistently bad or consistently great, but at least you know what to expect. And I think, actually this tangents off your question here, but the de-escalation and the working with coaches who, have a little bit of this kind of going on, right? There's a little abrasion going on, but ultimately you both have a common goal. It's to finish 60 minutes of hockey and get through it together. And it's the same exact thing in our business. There's clients that may have wanted something done differently. You did it, a certain direction, but ultimately you want the same thing. You want a great looking lawn, and you want the site to be taken care of for the patrons or the people that live there. So learned a lot and continue to develop my communication skills through that. It's kind of a secondary avenue for it. So it's pretty fun.
Good. Let's talk about your customers. And you mentioned all the things that you offer them, and it sounds like a nice variety. But is there anything that you're noticing just that seems to be gaining in prominence, or even just an attitude from your customers? Just kind of looking for, like, what are you seeing? Because you're the boots on the ground type guy that I have to talk to find out what are you seeing out in Iowa?
Yeah, we're continually seeing, and I'm speaking from a commercial maintenance standpoint here, price continues to be the driving factor.
Okay.
More and more, property managers and management companies are being praised for reducing budgets and increasing the NOI of a property. So that's certainly a focus, and where I think we have to kind of flip the script is let them know that, hey, not fulfilling your scope of work that you want us to do, we can hit your budget. But to really take care of the property, that budget doesn't align with the expectations that you're setting it, as well as the expectations that ownership or senior management's going to have when they come to town. And so a lot of education is being required lately to make sure that we're on the same path together. And we've repeatedly seen or I shouldn't say repeatedly, but we've found some clients that aren't the right fit for us. They've got misaligned expectations. They want everything thrown in for free after the fact, and we've started to become a little bit firmer with the way that we're working with folks. It isn't. It isn't maybe ideal in some cases because you want to be the giver. You want to just give, but ultimately, if it's such a one-sided relationship, it's less than ideal.
Okay, good answer. One of the questions I always ask for these is best advice, either advice you've been given or advice that you like to give. I think you might hate that question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Give me some advice.
Yeah, a little backstory. Seth and I had a fair number of glasses of wine last night and dove into this question quite a bit, actually. But hate advice, and the reason I share it is because advice is usually given by somebody who hasn't been in that seat before and may not share the same experience. And so, my best piece of advice is doing the same thing over and over and over often results in success, because inevitably, as you do the same thing over and over, you're doing it just a little bit different. These companies that we tend to idolize, right? The titans of our industry have been doing it for a very long time, and they've continued to iterate and just make small changes on the things that didn't go well. And so every process that we've got, has been continually refined over and over and over. Not big overhauls typically, but just, okay, let's stick with this. We've got a process now. Let's tweak this a little bit. Okay, that went better. Now this went worse. So let's tweak that. And so we just make these continual micro adjustments, and that's been the thing that's I think generated the most success in our business. And so that'd be my advice is do the same thing, do the little things right over and over and over, and inevitably the success and whatever that measure of success is for a business will come.
Okay, great. For 2026, obviously you're out here in Italy, you're part of a peer group. You guys are talking about, what your businesses are doing, and you're all sharing ideas and whatnot. Do you have anything that you're kind of really, let's say it's January 2026, anything that you really have high on your list of priorities or something that you need to accomplish to make the next year, the next 5 years, really great for the business?
Yeah, good question on that one too. We did, as part of the peer group, we always do a member-driven case. And so that was me sitting in the middle of the circle today, and I was leading the member-driven case. And it was fun, but inevitably, with fun and with sitting in the middle of a circle becomes hard. And so, one of the biggest things that I took away from this, and it's going to change the trajectory of 26 and beyond, is I need to figure out what I really want for my life. What does it look like, and how do we model a business that will drive success and drive a high quality workplace for those on our team. I think 26 and beyond is going to be more focused on our team generating the success instead of just me kind of leading the charge. And so, I think the macroeconomic environment is continually moving in a favorable direction. Unemployment is up marginally, but at the same time, we've got then plenty of labor, and especially, in our non-discretionary services, the maintenance, fertilization, weed control, and the reoccurring services, we've continually seen that grow year over year, and I think we will continue. So, my two-part answer: one, we've got to focus on our team, but then the second part is, I think inevitably there's going to be growth this year because we continue to push in the right market segments.
Sam, does the team know that will you communicate what you guys talked about with them, or is this something that you just kind of do and then you're trying to implement a plan, or will you be like, hey guys, I'm gonna, here's my game plan. I want you to start. I mean, how do you handle that?
Yeah, well, a couple of the big takeaways was one, using, everybody calls it artificial intelligence, but I think a better term is advanced intelligence, to take and combine all of the opportunities or all of the ideas for a vision for their company, and let ChatGPT or any platform summarize those into a longer form mission vision statement. That's something that we're going to be doing right away when I get back. Some of the other ideas of where, we might see, the 3-year and the 10-year plans that we're going to lay out for the company, they're absolutely be included in those. And a lot of those leaders are already within our company. They might not know it yet. And I'm sure there's some people that are going to come on board externally that we'll have to add to fulfill those missions. But we're pretty open with our team. And that's something that I really pride myself on, because ultimately, if your team doesn't know where they're going, they're going to get there. And so I would want them to be well educated on if they need more finance experience or operations experience or leadership experience, then we can allow them that opportunity to grow kind of ahead of time to serve that future.
Okay, great. Landscape Management's a free magazine. We're entirely funded by our advertising partners and our ad pages. So give me a commercial, give me a shout out. What's your favorite product? Anything out there that you really love that you want to?
Try to find something a little bit less known. I like our Turfco fertilizer spreaders.
Tell me all about that. We love Turfco.
Turfco, we've got 3100s, the T3200s. I don't yet have a T5000, but I think that'll be on the way. I love their simplicity. They're very, very simple. For example, spreading fertilizer to the 6 foot or 9 foot. For spray, you've either got the trim spray or the wide spray. There's not all of these nuances to the machine in customization, which is great for an owner-operator. I agree. But as we're trying to scale a business, we want some things that are simple, things that work, things that have less parts. Yeah. With the Turfco, there's a couple pulleys, a couple belts, and a spinner. There's really not much to them. There's therefore not much that can go wrong. And when something does go wrong, we stock the 5 or 10 most common parts we use, and so we don't have to wait on them. And the really nice thing, Turfco out of Minneapolis, they're sending us all the parts overnight. So if we order it, I think it's by 2 o'clock cutoff, 3 o'clock cutoff. It's at our door before I head to the shop in the morning. Now it gets shipped to the shop, which is nice. But yeah, we've had a really great time with them. I think they allow us to scale. They fit in gates. They do all the little things right. And so they've been a great partner with us, and something that we're going to continue to use.
Okay, shout out to Scott and George Kincaid. Those guys are good friends of the magazine.
Really?
So, yeah,
good.
Yep.
Well, I picked a good one.
You did. So, what about back at Etch Outdoors? How do you celebrate a job well done? What do you do for the team to let them know that they hit a home run?
Never well enough, right? One of the things we were talking about, the go-giver, and giving enough. There's little things that we do over and over. But that's actually one of the 3 takeaways I had was celebrating more wins. A lot of times it goes beyond money, right? Money is important. Money allows for more freedom for our team and a sense of security. But the 5 love languages of appreciation, or 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace. Sometimes it's public recognition. Sometimes it's quality time. Making myself available to talk about the fact that they did a great job and to learn from them. How do we do that again and replicate it? And so. I don't think we always celebrate that win the same way. And a lot of times I don't think we celebrate the win well enough. Sometimes doing the little things is as much or more important than those big things. And so finding those incremental milestones on a project, I think, is awesome. Hitting budgeted hours, obviously, we all love that, right? And so that's what returns money to our team's pocket. So a lot of times a job well done is a high five and attaboy and photos of the job, getting posted on our social media pages and whatnot. But something that we always want to improve on. I don't want to pretend and tell the viewers that I've got it all figured out, because that's one place I think we probably ought to improve a lot on.
Okay, fair. How did Etch Outdoors get its name?
So we were Ankeny Lawn and Landscapes. Simply where you're from, what you do. That's how we started. It was great, but it limited us geographically to just our hometown. We started to get some calls outside of there, but it was a much slower growth process because of that, I would presume. And so we made an effort to rebrand. I actually, for better or worse, mostly for worse, did the entire rebrand myself. No outside help on logos, no outside help on color choices or anything like that. The one requirement I had was I wanted our name to be an adverb or a verb. I want it to be something we did. So etch is simply to scribe. I want to describe a difference in the green industry. I want to describe a legacy of high quality projects that stand the test of time. Most importantly, I want to describe a difference on our team so that in the future they're better team members for wherever they work, hopefully continuing to work at Etch. And so it's a little bit different of a name. The counterpart to it is it's kind of hard to say sometimes, so it makes it a little bit of a challenge at times. But ultimately, we wanted to do things differently, and I think we've well embodied that over the last few years.
Okay, great. Let's talk a little about the ACE peer groups. How long have you been in a peer group, and why is it valuable to you?
Been in the peer group now for about either 2.5 or 3.5 years. I think it's probably 3.5 years now, and I personally think it's invaluable. Having a group of folks that, I don't want to say they don't care about you, because they certainly care about you as a person, but they want to hold you accountable to see you grow. And that's what you've signed up for, is for somebody to tell you the things that you maybe don't want to hear, things you usually already know about. But they've done an awesome job supporting myself, and I hope they would say equally that I've been a great partner for them, and helping teach them about their businesses and things that they might be a little bit blind to. It's great, going to, unfortunately we don't get to come to Italy every single event, which would be cool, but going to somebody's facility, seeing their rollout, talking to their key leaders without the owner in the office is really fun, because a lot of times you hear things that would never be said otherwise. And so, we're leading the owners onto something that can help inspire and make the next round of changes. And I think it's super powerful. We implemented a ton of changes from our last visit. We've got another visit coming up in about a year, and so we've got changes that honestly we're still working on from when the team showed up about a year and a half ago to our facility. Exciting but scary. It's putting yourself out there a little bit, and it's not without it's not without struggle, for sure. So I'd give a shout out if anybody has questions. Like, I would love to talk to people about it, and happy to chat and tell more.
Okay, cool. Let's get to know you a little bit more. Tell me about your wife and family, and what do you guys do for fun?
Yeah, my wife Haley is fantastic. We have a 3-month-old daughter. She is a light, man. It is so much fun to be a dad.
Yeah.
It's learning.
Yeah.
It's something that, I'll be honest, I don't think you ever think you're great at it, but it's something that I really want to be excellent at. So it's been a fun new challenge. For fun, a couple of things. We like to play golf. My wife likes to more ride around the golf cart probably, but she is really good at it, so it makes it fun. And honestly, we go on a lot of walks with our dogs and our daughter. That's been a lot of fun, a lot of time hanging out with family.
Good.
There's, in my opinion, never too much time we can just spend hanging out with those we're closest to.
Good. What's your baby's name?
Baby is Ruby.
All right.
She is a treat, man. She's at that age now where she's starting to smile. Not quite a laugh. It's more of like a squeal. But it's so much fun. It just brings a lot more purpose to what you do every day.
Good. Well, Sam, I appreciate you taking the time. It's been a great chat, and continued success to you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
New dad, Sam. I'm Seth. We're out here in Tuscany, Italy. Thanks for watching us on Landscape Management TV.